Hi everybody, welcome to week 3 math instructional video for Wednesday. So this is task number 2. Remember there's 2 videos for this week, one for Wednesday and one for Thursday. The standard that we're going to work on this week is NBT 1.3, which is use place value understanding to round multi-digit whole numbers to any place. This is very similar to what we did last year with rounding. It's just a little bit more difficult. All right, so this is just a reminder of the assignments that are due for this week. So the first thing is the overview video. That's task 1. Task 2 is the instructional video, which you're watching the first of 2 of those. Task 3, which is the weekly assignment, which I go over in the weekly overview video, and I'll go over again at the end of this video. And then task 4, which is the weekly assessment. Here's the vocabulary for this week. So most of this we'll already have learned in class, but I just want to review it with you again. So round, obviously round. The next one is period. So remember a period, we learned it as like the houses. So like ones, thousands, millions, those are periods. Place value, which we talked about, is the value or the amount each number is worth. So like ones, tens, hundreds. And then less than and greater than. My mouse is being really weird today. I have to keep moving it. Okay. So by the end of this lesson in your math journal, you should be completing this answer. If you are hybrid, I'm going to try to send this home with you so you can just write on your paper. But if you're 100% online, then you could just write this in your math journal. So the question is, complete the table to show how each individual number was rounded to make the new number. So this is the original number, and you have to figure out, this is the new number, this is your answer. You have to figure out how they rounded it to the nearest 100 and the nearest 1,000. Okay, so just to review, again, we learned this last year. So when we're rounding, we look at our digit, we look next door, and then we decide if the number next door is 4 or less, we let it rest. That means it stays the same. If it's 5 or more, we're going to let it soar. So the number that we're looking at is going to go up one more. So I have a little chart here that helps you remember. 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, let it soar. And remember, we're looking at the number next door to help us make that decision. Okay, so if you should have this sheet if you're hybrid. If you're online, you can just look at this one. So we're going to complete the table, round each number to the given place. So we're going to do the first one, I'm going to do it for you. The next one we're going to do together, and the last 3 numbers here you're going to do on your own in your math journal. So the first number, 45,982. So I want to round that to the tens, to the hundreds, to the thousands, to the 10,000s. So I'm going to get my pen. Okay. So if I'm rounding to the nearest 10, I'm going to circle, that's the number I'm going to change, possibly. So I'm going to look at my 10, whoops, I'm going to circle it. I'm going to look next door. So my number, that's supposed to be an arrow. It's so hard. Okay, my number next door is 4 or less. So that means the 8 is going to stay the same. So my new number, let me see if I could type this and make it easier. My new number is going to be 45,980. So the only thing that changes is the 2 becomes a 0 on that one. Remember, the only thing that changes is possibly the number that you've circled, and everything after that becomes zeros. So let's look at the next one. I don't know if I cleared this. Let me see if I can just erase it. Okay. Okay. Nope, it's not working. Hold on. Okay, the next one, hundreds. So remember, I'm going to circle the hundreds. I'm not so good with the circling. And then I'm going to draw my arrow next door, because that's the number that's going to help me determine if the number 9 is going to go up or if it's going to stay the same. So when I look next door, the number is 8, which is 5 or more. So I'm going to let it soar. So this one's a little tricky though, because 9, the next number up from 9 would be 10. So that means I'm going to, this number next door to the left is going to change. So that means that when I round it to the nearest 100, it's going to be 46,000 when I'm looking to round it to the nearest 100. So the thousand, it changed the thousands because if I'm thinking 900 or 1,000, which one 982 is closer to? It's closer to 1,000. So that means it's going to go up 1,000. So that's why the answer is 46,000. Okay, the next one. Get my pencil. Okay, so now I'm looking at my thousands. So I'm going to circle my thousands. And then I'm going to look next door. So remember, I always circle the number that it's asking me to round to. So this is asking me to round to the nearest 1,000. So this is similar to the one that we just did. So it's a 5. When I look next door, the number's 9, which is 5 or more. So that means that it's going, no, it's actually not similar to the one we just did. I thought it was. So then that's going to go up to 46,000. Hold on, it's not wanting to cooperate. Okay, let's see if I can have both at the same time. Okay, and then the next one is the 10,000. So I'm going to circle, this isn't wanting to cooperate, hold on, because I'm pushing the wrong button. You're going to circle the 10,000 and you're going to look next door. So the 10,000s is the 4. So next door is a 5. With 5 or more, I let it soar. So if I'm rounding to the nearest 10,000, then the answer would be 50,000. Okay, let's see if I did it all correctly. I did, that's so exciting. Okay, let me go ahead and erase my, whoops. Hold on, now I can't figure out how to get my tools back. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so I want you to try the next one on your own. So you're going to round this number, 128,073, to the nearest tens, to the nearest hundreds, to the nearest thousands, and to the nearest 10,000. So pause the video, and I want you to try this on your own. Okay, so hopefully you're back now after you've paused the video and you've done this. So your answer should be 128,070 if you're rounding to the nearest 10, 128,100 if you're rounding to the nearest 100, 128,000 if you're rounding to the nearest 1,000, and then 130,000 if you're rounding to the nearest 10,000. Okay, let's do a couple more practice problems. So this is one of your weekly assignments. You're going to do 4, 6, and 8 on this paper. This is on page 19 if you're hybrid and you've taken this paper home. But so we're going to go ahead and do 3, 5, and 7. So on your paper, I want to see that you wrote the answers down that we're going to do together on 3, 5, and 7 when you turn your paper in. Okay, so let me get my pencil ready. So it says round each number to the place of the underlying digit. So they've already circled it for us. So we're going to kind of circle this, but you do need to know which number you're going to circle. So this one they've already told me. So I'm going to circle it. I'm going to draw my arrow next door. So I know if it's 5 or more, I let it soar. If it's 4 or less, I let it rest. But this one is 5 or more. So I know my new answer is going to be 129,000. And then remember, everything after the number that you have rounded all becomes zeros. Easy peasy. All right, let's look at the next one. Oh, hold on. I keep clicking the wrong button. Okay, so the 9 is underlined, so I'm going to circle the 9. I'm going to draw my arrow next door. So if it's 5 or more, I let it soar. So that means my new answer, this is like that one problem we did on the other page. So if it's 9 or more, that means I'm going to look next door and that one's going to get a bump up. So instead of it being 9,000, that has to change. It's going to be 10,000. So it's going to go up to the next 1,000. All right, next one. 160,656. So I know it has the 1 underlined, which is in the 100,000s place. I'm going to draw an arrow next door. So if it's 5 or more, I let it soar. So everything, excuse me, the 1 is going to go up to a 2 because it was 5 or more, and then everything after that becomes zeros. Okay, so if you need to, go ahead, or actually I want you to go ahead and write this down. If you need to pause it, I would pause it because I'm getting ready to erase it. Oh, no, it's not wanting to work. Okay, this whole page is the same thing. So this is one of your weekly assignments. So I want you to go on this page. If you're hybrid, you took this paper home with you. This is page 19, and you're going to do 10 through 24 on your own. I want to see the same work that I did. So I want to see the circling and the arrow going next door. And then if you want to write at the top, if it will help you, then I would write, let me get my, hold on. I would write at the top, oh, it's blocking my face. Hold on. I would write 4 or more, nope, said it wrong. 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, let it soar. That way you can remember and you can see that for every single problem. You can go back and think the number that you've drawn an arrow to, what am I going to do with that number? Oops, hold on. I don't know what's happening. Clear. Okay. Okay, so remember in your daily journal, you're going to, I'm sorry, for your daily question, you're going to go ahead and answer this in your daily journal. I keep saying daily journal, in your math journal. And then your weekly assignment. So for your practice, you're going to complete 1.4 on Envisions or Savas. You're going, it says Savas Easy Bridge. You're going to finish page 19, 4, 5, 8, and then on the bottom where it says 10 through 24. And then this is what it looks like on Savas, what you're going to do. Remember, you need to be doing all 3. I am keeping track, so I will be communicating with your parents by the end of this week what you have been doing as far as your work. And that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. See you soon.